Hey YouTube, this is Mike, and I just wanted to share a short little snippet from this episode that I really enjoyed. However, if you want to listen to the full episode, either scroll down this post or head to mikejamesreid.com/podcast for the full episode. Thanks and enjoy.
This is really interesting because when you think about it, we're designed in such a way that, we have one thing in common. So, we may all have a variety of different conscious goals, but from an evolutionary standpoint, there are some intrinsic goals that are valuable to all of us. And at the top of that list is our personal health and well-being and our survival. So, everything inside of us instinctually is designed in such a way so that we do not harm ourselves. So when you think about it, jumping off a bridge gives you this really strong instinct to not jump, to not look down, or, cutting yourself with a knife, the thought is unbearable. But it's only man-made stimulants such as junk food or, drugs or these kinds of things where we are willing to do something that actually threatens our survival. And so, do you ever wonder why that is? And it's because these man-made stimulants are abundant. They deliver abundant rewards. So when you say, food, there's actually two categories. There's real food, which you would never eat more than you need. Okay, so, and then there's these man-made foods that deliver abundant rewards. The brain remembers them, and, because we're designed to seek out fat, sugar, and salt, the brain remembers those foods, and then we go after them even though they're harmful to us. So this is sort of like a flaw. Well, I guess it's not really a flaw in our design, but because we are bombarded with all these junk foods and stuff like that, we would go after these things that are not good for us, but they're basically more like drugs. We're not looking for the nutrition in them. We're looking for the pleasure in them.
So maybe, Maria, if I could change tact a little bit and ask you the question. Obviously, this podcast is all about exploring the dichotomies we all face in life and in business, in health, whatever it may be, and health and food is a really fascinating one to me, I think, for many people, because, obviously it's a core part of everyone's life. And I think one way or another we all have an interesting relationship with food. But if I can ask you, what's one of the great dichotomies in your own life? Like what for you have been the parts of life where you felt most torn or pulled in opposing directions over, part of your desire to want to have A, but then a big part of your desire to want to have, something from column B? What are those things?
Well, so as of late, I've been trying actually to neutralize my dichotomies, because I've sort of realized that these opposing parts are from sort of either a toxicity in your thought or a deficiency in your thought. And so when I notice a dichotomy, I'm actually trying to neutralize it a bit more and bring things back into balance. But in general, in my life, there's been two dichotomies that really sort of have been in my life consistently. And one, of course, was my desire to be as healthy. Well, I'm not even going to say healthy. It was to be as fit and beautiful and skinny and healthy looking as possible. And then there was this other part of me that, of course, was binging and had this food addiction and the sugar addiction. And, I was like two people. One was this person who had incredible ability to resist temptations and was really, in control of my eating pattern. And then there was this, other person who basically had their ability to resist temptation to the degree of a 2-year-old child. And so that has been, trying to look for some logic on that sort of erratic behavior became a mission. I've understood, really deeply now, and isn't an issue so much in my life anymore, but was something I struggled for many years with. I remember one time after a binge, crying on the floor and thinking, and this is after I was already a nutritionist, thinking, why? I need just someone write a book and tell me why I'm binging. What is this behavior all about? And I was, thinking, why? Why is there no book? And I started to think about my life and all of the things that I've experienced in my life and all of my desires and my goals. And I thought, of course there's no book. I'm meant to be this person that's supposed to figure out this puzzle and is to figure out, what this problem is. And I'm meant to write this book. And so that's where the desire to write the Eating Enigma came from, and sort of to neutralize these two parts that lived within me. So that was one dichotomy. And then, of course, the other one was this bouncing between this, strong desire to want a stable family life, and this amazing partner and children, and to be a mom and to do all of these things. But, I also held the belief that meant that I couldn't be this career woman and I couldn't do amazing things on my own and all of this stuff. And so I sort of, went back and forth with this dichotomy as well, and have recently really worked on neutralizing a lot of that as well. So those are the two main things I think I've struggled with the most